that they can get that child's innocence. Okay, that's what they believe. This is how sick. But see, if you think about it, if you follow Satan, he's going to eventually lead you down a road where you're doing the most sick, debased things that the normal person could never even conceive. But this is what happens. And they believe that if they drink an infant's blood or a child's blood or something like a unicorn, what they're doing is they're vampirizing their innocence. They're vampirizing their youth and their vitality and their energy that's in that blood, because the Bible says the life that we have is in the blood. How does that go again? I forget. Yeah. So it's very important for an occultist to drink blood because they believe there's this transfer of energy. And there probably is. There's probably some type of demonic transfer of energy that appears to have a benefit to them. But it's not a benefit. It's just more of a curse that they're bringing on themselves. So this is what Harry Potter's getting you conditioned for and used to, drinking blood. Which is one, like I said, it's one of the highest rituals in all of Satanism is drinking blood. But it's okay because it's just fantasy and it doesn't really matter because it's not really, no, it's all an abomination from the pit of hell. I mean, we're supposed to flee all appearance of evil. We're supposed to set no wicked thing before our eyes. And Harry Potter is wicked, and it's evil. This goes on to say, these are typical responses given by children when asked if they'd like to have Harry's power. What about casting spells? Is it just fantasy? The Association of Teachers and Lecturers, a teachers' union in Great Britain, says, this goes far beyond a case of reading a Harry Potter story. This represents an extremely worrying trend among young people. Please consider this small portion of a transcript taken from the National Public Radio report done in May 13, 2004. The profile was, quote, Teens and Wicca. Now remember, we already talked about Wicca. And this is Teens and Wicca on the radio show All Things Considered. Now this is on NPR, National Public Radio. And it goes on to say, quote, it's hard to know the exact numbers, but Wicca is believed to be one of the fastest growing religions among high school and college students. And again, it is a little bit harder to know the numbers because these aren't people that assemble on Sundays and get together in a church and you can do a head count. It's not like that, okay? They more operate in little, what we would call, I guess, what they would call covens. A witch coven would consider to be 13 witches. And then a lot of times, maybe these are a lot bigger in some instances. It goes on to say the Barna Research Group, okay, hold on, Wicca is believed to be one of the fastest growing religions among high school and college students. Well, why not? We've got every facet of the media, Harry Potter probably leading the way, brainwashing kids to get involved in witchcraft. And then it goes on to say the Barna Research Group, a marketing research firm serving Christian ministries, polled 612 teenagers between the ages of 13 and 19. The results, teenagers who have read the Harry Potter books or have seen the Harry Potter movie were more likely to have experimented with psychic or occult activities than those teens who have not. The study revealed that 41% of teens have seen the Harry Potter film or have read one or more of the books. Now, these books, don't think that if you read one of Harry Potter's books or if you go to see one of the movies that it's not going to affect you spiritually. Because whatever you set in front of you is going to affect you spiritually in some way, shape, or form. And Harry Potter's no different. I mean, these movies are wicked, and especially a child who's not even saved, they go to see something like this. They've got really no spiritual protection. There's certain spirits that are going to influence them that are associated and attached with the books and the movies. Don't think if you go and buy a Harry Potter book, there's not a great big fat demon attached to it, because there are. It's well known in the occult when you go and you buy like hard rock, rock music and things like this, that they'll do ceremonies. Many of these rock groups actually do ceremonies before, and they'll do it over what they call the master. The master is the recording that makes all the other recordings in the thing. And they'll actually have big witchcraft ceremonies to actually, for Satan to come down and bless this recording so that all the other recordings essentially, so number one, they sell a lot of albums, and number two, that these demons operate and emanate through these recordings in such a way where they're going to defile the people listening to this music in the maximum way. Now, Jack Chick has, I know a comic book, I believe it's called Spellbound, that deals with this. And it really, if you want to know more about it, get that comic book. It's called Spellbound, and it's their website's www.chick.com. They've got a whole comic series. These comics are really great to give to kids because they go through and they cover a different topic like that. Every one of them does. So if we go further, it says that the Wiccan witch Silver Ravenwolf, nice name, Silver Ravenwolf, is only too happy to help your teens to become a witch. Having written numerous books, the guides on spell and witchcraft, such as her, I didn't know if it was a man or a woman. It's a woman. She's wrote a book here called the Teen Witch Kit, and then another one called Teen Witch Wicca for a New Generation. Oh yeah, it's a new generation, all right. She's a high priestess and witch. Kate West offers, quote, the Real Witch's Handbook, written in a way that makes it very accessible for beginners and young readers. There are plenty more, but don't forget the internet, where everything is just one click away. One search for witchcraft yields more than 7 million results. So are we so naive to think this is just fantasy? I mean, and again, why I prefaced everything at the very beginning of this is because we know that the one world religion of Antichrist in its purest form is going to be witchcraft. So shouldn't we be kind of on the lookout to see what things maybe Satan might be putting out there? I mean, is this something maybe we should be praying about? Maybe fasting about in regard to these things? Then we go on to say the Pagan Federation is an organization promoting paganism, which encompasses witchcraft. When you hear the word paganism, that's essentially just witchcraft, okay? Christian author Barrett Kojos cites a 1999 report in the This Is London Entertainment Guide, the evening edition, in which the Federation media officer Andrew Norfolk said the pagan organization does not admit members under the age of 18, but it deals with an average of 100 inquiries a month from youth who want to become witches. These are kids under 18. Now this was back in 1999. Who knows what it's like now? And has occasionally been swamped with calls. Now, if you want to know where the witchcraft capital is of the world, it's England. A lot of people don't know that. But England is well known as the witchcraft capital of the world. It also has, no probably coincidence, it's also the number one place where if you go, where you have like haunted houses and things of that nature. There's more haunted houses in England per capita or whatever, however they would gauge that, per house, than any other place on earth, from what they've been able to figure out. So England, and this is where the Harry Potter books come from, J.K. Rowling. This is her home, I believe. So it's no wonder that England spawned all of this, because they're really witchcraft central anyway. So if we go further, this goes on to say, Norfolk is further quoted as saying, in response to the increased queries coming from youngsters, we established a youth officer. In other words, they want to be able to service the kiddies as well, because all these kids want to become witches now. And it is quite possibly linked to the things like Harry Potter, and meaning all these inquiries they're starting to get. Of course it's linked to Harry Potter. And things like Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then there was that movie called I think there was a TV series called Charmed. All these things are from Hollywood to condition us for this. Now, if you look at the word Hollywood, in these Harry Potters, I watched the trailer for this new Harry Potter movie that's coming out. It was online through ABC Family, which is probably the most wicked, subtle mainstream TV thing on the planet. ABC Family's motto is a new kind of family. ABC Family were the same ones that brought us Fallen, which is where this Nephilim, this fallen angel, is going to come back. But he's not a fallen angel. He's a Nephilim. He's half human, half fallen angel, which is what the Bible talks about in Genesis chapter 6. And it's what Jesus said, that as it was in the